or that I'm probably not good enough to win. More so, it's because of my ego. When I think I want to begin to compete, just to try and see how far I can make it, I begin to puff out my chest and believe in myself in a way that makes me feel almost special. I begin to believe that I can write these things, these messages that hold weight and carry so much meaning. And when I start to write, I think too much. And I try to dig deep into myself, but all I come up with are these same lines about bleeding, screaming souls, and it's always the same theme, echoing my pain as if hearing it 1,000 times might lessen the ache. But how can I lessen the sharpness of edges? Glass shards of broken promises continue cutting deep and keep on reminding me how awful I am. Awful for words I said and things I did and what I screamed out of hate. Awful for being so stupid, blinding myself to flags bright as the blood from my lips. Awful for believing all those cutting words, wounding my self-image and painting my mood in shades of your rage. All I want is to make good poetry, yet the broken bottles of your words keep choking the life from me long after your hands have disappeared. It is not you that is here, but the ghost of your aggression. The haunting after image of the dent in my wall, the sound of your flesh when you attacked it, because it's still better to hit next to my face instead of me, right? These contests make me nervous, because how can I make an audience understand the cavernous void you turned me into? Stealing more than just breath from my lungs, filling my veins with toxic words of false love. I have never been so broken. How can I make any of these broken thoughts become something more than what they are? How can I make them art? Because I need to try to make something beautiful out of the ugly mess you left. How can I arrange these pieces of my shattered self in a way that maybe the sunlight might find them, to make artificial rainbows to hide the scars within me? And so I write. I scream and I cry through my words, ink onto paper, because it is better to let it seep, let it leak onto the page before me, rather than holding it in, where each coat will fester until I have no choice but to amputate every ventricle that retains the stain of you. These contests make me nervous, because I have to dig deep, with no guarantee I'll find anything worth saving, and my fragile ego sinks as I realize the repetition in my lines only means that I still haven't recovered. It means there are still bruises and wounds that haven't healed, that soak through the stitches and cover my hands in failure. I don't know if I'll ever be good enough to compete for my own standards to ever consider bearing my core to strangers. I can only hope that these flat words will one day stop drumming inside of my bones, and that maybe then, perhaps, these contests won't make me so nervous.
Yeah.